It is no longer news that the leading presidential candidate in Nigeria or the leading presidential aspirant in Nigeria today, Mr. Peter Obi, has left the People's Democratic Party and has joined the Labour Party of Nigeria. As is expected, it has generated a lot of reactions, both by those for and those against his move. Some of those who are against his move are supporters of Atiku Abubakar, one of the presidential aspirants under the People's Democratic Party. One would have thought that they would be relieved that Mr. Peter Obi has left the stage for them so that their dollarized primaries can go to the highest bidder. But they are still talking about Peter Obi. And like they said, nobody kicks a dead dog. Peter Obi has something to offer. And it's also a threat to them, even while in another political party, like the Labour Party of Nigeria. Now, Reno Omokri, in his interview with Arise Television, said that Peter Obi moved to a party that is in conflict with his ideology. What he was trying to say was that the ideology of the Labour Party of Nigeria is in conflict with that of Mr. Peter Obi, and that Peter Obi is therefore an opportunistic politician who is not being guided by the ideology. But nothing is far from the truth. What Omokri said is far, far from the truth. I don't think that there is any conflict between Peter Obi's ideology and the ideology of the Labour Party of Nigeria. Peter Obi, like every Nigerian should, is a believer of free markets. For you to be a free market advocate or enthusiast, it means you believe that the economy should be guided by demand and supply, that the market will take care of itself, leading to the price equilibrium. When all market and supply, demand and supply meet itself. Now, Peter Obi, he despite all his qualifications and Ivy League qualifications in Harvard, Oxford, and elsewhere, if you ask him what's his business, he will tell you that he's a trader, and he's very proud of it. So Peter Obi is somebody who believes in trading. So the trading aspects of life, Peter Obi believes in it. And he also believes in productivity. He wants Nigeria to be productive. That is why he said that what he wants to change Nigeria from is from this tendency of being a consuming nation to a producing nation. For the past several decades, Nigeria has continued to be a consuming nation. Mr. Peter Obi wanted to turn Nigeria. He wants to turn Nigeria to a producing nation. A nation that can fulfill its potentials. It is because Nigeria is a consuming nation. That is why it's not bothered about production. As long as oil is coming out from the ground and sold at crude, it is not even a shame that he cannot even refine crude oil to petroleum that he can use at home. That is how shameless Nigerian politicians are. All the leaders over the years who have been president, while the refineries are not working. So Mr. Peter Obi believes in free economy, free market system. And that is what Nigeria practices. Nigeria is not a communist country. So I don't know the ideology he's talking about. Now, the ideology of Nigerian Labour Party. Nigerian Labour Party is actually a participator by Nigerian workers to ensure better welfare for workers. Mr. Peter Obi's action has shown that he's a worker-friendly politician. As governor of Anambra State, if there is anyone who can remember any time the workers went on strike because of welfare, let him please comment on the comment box and tell me the time and period when Peter Obi did not take care of the welfare of workers in Anambra State. Let me even remind people that when Mr. Peter Obi became governor of Anambra State, the governor before him was owing workers several years of salaries. The schools were in shambles. Teachers were not going to school. It was a total mess in Anambra at the time. And it was Mbadinuju that left that mess. And nobody was able to solve it until Mr. Peter Obi came on board. Now, Ngige, that initially usurped the governorship of Anambra State before Mr. Peter Obi got it back through the courts as a due process person, could not even manage some of those challenges, relationship with workers. But Mr. Peter Obi harmonized the relationship between Anambra State, that's Anambra State government, and the workers of Anambra State. Mr. Peter Obi settled all the backlogs of salaries, pensions, and what have you. And by the time he left, no single worker was being owed salary in Anambra State. He prioritized workers' welfare. Anytime you hear Mr. Peter Obi speak, he will tell you that some of the basic things they did was, one, whenever they get their Anambra State gets his allocation from the federal government, first, he will make sure that the workers are paid. He will make sure that pensioners are paid. He will make sure that there is savings for Anambra State. And then the rest, he can begin to invest it in any other thing to settle other government business. That was what he did. And that was how he was able to save up to $500 million for Anambra State, which is equivalent to about 75 billion naira. No governor, not even the president of Nigeria, could boast of saving something like that by deliberate saving. Even the excess crude account, which ought to be saved, there was altercation between the federal government and state governors on what to do about it. If you read the book of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, he devoted some pages on Mr. Peter Obi, because Mr. Peter Obi was one of the few, in fact, the only governor at that time who encouraged saving by federal government. Saving for the rainy days. But the other governors, they said no. They politicized saving. In fact, they even said that what are you saving for the rainy days when they're already drenched by rain? So there's no point saving anything, that they should bring out the money. And that was how they brought out those money, and they played politics with it. And at the end of the day, the same characters were the ones saying that the Jonathan administration, he left empty treasury. Why would he not? And which is a lie from the pit of hell, because Jonathan administration did not leave empty treasury. He left some money. If you go and check, you can Google it and go and check how much was Nigerian foreign reserve as at May 28, 2015. You'll be shocked what you'll see there. It should still be there in the Central Bank website. Because even when Buhari entered and was giving them money to pay salary. Where was he generating the money from? It was from the same excess crude account money, some of it that were still left from the foreign reserve that was left behind by the Jonathan administration. Now, if you see a governor like Mr. Peter Obi, who never owed workers salary, who prioritized the payment of their salaries and their wage and their welfare, a governor who made sure that teachers' welfare was prioritized because teachers were disgruntled under Badmuju. And Ngige. It was the sanity in the educational system in Anambra State today was as a result of Mr. Peter Obi. And he had cordial relationship with Nigerian Labour Congress in Anambra State. Please, if you have any time during his administration in Anambra State where Mr. Peter Obi, there was strike as a result of non-payment of salary, please leave it, as I said, leave it behind the information on the commentary box so that we can go and confirm it if it is true. Now, before we go ahead, for those who are coming to my channel for the first time, or anyone who have watched my channel, you have not yet subscribed, please do hit the subscription button, like the channel, so that anytime we release a new video, you'll be among the first to know. Thank you and God bless you. So Reno Omokri was entirely wrong about ideology of Peter Obi being in conflict with that of the Labour Party. And you may even ask, what is even the ideology of People's Democratic Party? The People's Democratic Party ideology is no different from ideology of Nigeria. Nigeria is a country that believes in free markets. Nigeria is not a communist country. The Labour Party of Nigeria is a party that wants to prioritize labor welfare. They want to make sure that the labor is not marginalized in the scheme of things, that workers are paid their due entitlement and they are paid well for the job that they do. Mr. Peter Obi is somebody who wants the best for Nigeria. I don't think that there's any way that he will not want workers to have better welfare in Nigeria. When his actions as governor showed clearly that he's a labor-friendly governor, that he gave workers what they needed. I assume that Nigerian workers are going to flock around their party, because for so long, Nigerian Labour Congress and Nigerian workers seem to have forgotten about their party. Now that they have somebody who has the capacity to galvanize the nation in the direction of what Nigerian Labour Party stands for, the structure that the people are asking, where will Mr. Peter Obi get the structure? The structure will be the Nigerian workers that are spread all over Nigeria. Workers that are receiving 30% salary. In Kogi State, workers are receiving 30% of their salary. Sometimes they receive 40%. And they are going to want to be president. Can you imagine that? And this same governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, he is the one that has threatened. He said that he is going to deal with any worker of Kogi State who joined Nigeria, who joined Labour Party. You know, because Mr. Peter Obi has joined Labour Party, he has given life to Labour Party. It's not that, are you getting it? He has given life to Labour Party. Labour Party suddenly has become a threat to make governor of Kogi State to say any civil servant who join Labour Party, that there will be consequences, that they will be dealt with. You see, the truth of the matter is that workers themselves are not supposed to join political parties, but they have the right to be sympathetic to a party that represents their best of interest. And I believe that the Nigerian Labour Party, the Labour Party of Nigeria, represent the best of the interest of Nigerian workers. And with somebody like Mr. Peter Obi, who says things and does it clinically, they have seen a leader that they are going to gravitate to make their dreams come true. So I expect that in the next few days, in the next few months, that there will be a lot of members, a lot of people joining Labour Party. And the workers themselves, since they, by the civil service rule and by the constitution, they are not supposed to be card-carrying members of political parties. But at least they are voters. They ought to be, they are sympathetic to particular political parties. Some of them vote for PDP, APC, or whatever. Now, the Labour Party is not entirely new to Nigerians. It's just that some people are not aware, pretend to be ignorant of the fact that Nigerian Labour Party is not a new party per se. In 2007, Nigerian Labour Party won a seat in the House of Representatives. In that same year, they won governorship position of Ondo State with Mimiko, election that was rigged by the People's Democratic Party. And Mimiko went to court, and the court eventually declared him the authentic and the true winner. Dr. Olusegun Mimiko remains the first governorship product of Labour Party of Nigeria, and that was in 2007. Now, since that time, there have been all kinds of parties in the country. So Labour Party is not a new party, but it's just that even the Nigerian Labour Congress is not promoting the party as it should, because Nigerian Labour Congress has tended to ally itself with the bourgeoisies. Because for a long time, people like Oshomole had already sold the soul of Nigerian Labour Congress to the politicians, to the highest bidders in government. That was why many of their strikes actually never achieved any tangible thing under Oshomole. And the Labour Party say were literally abandoned. But now it is being given life by a political force like Mr. Peter Obi. Today in Nigeria, Labour Party is trending. People are talking about the Labour Party. Is it going to be the third force? What is it going to do next? Does it entail now? Now that the Labour Party is generating a lot of buzz everywhere. And why is that so? It is because Mr. Peter Obi has joined Labour Party. Is there potential? Is there possibility that Peter Obi and Labour Party can spring a surprise in 2023 presidential election? It remains to be seen, but there is a possibility. Because when people ask, where is Mr. Peter Obi's political structure? Where is the structure they're going to use? Look, Labour Party, if Nigerian Labour Congress and Nigerian workers that are available in all the 774 local governments in Nigeria say that enough is enough for all the strike actions they used to embark on, because they have been facing unfriendly governments of the People's Democratic Party and All Progressive Congress, and that they have to embrace their party, the Labour Party, that now seems to have a man ready to take it to the highest height in governance. I think that is enough for the party and Mr. Peter Obi to do incredibly well in 2023 presidential election. And because Mr. Peter Obi has joined Labour Party, I can, from my understanding of things, Labour Party is going to do far better than it had ever done in general election. I believe that they will do better than they ever did, which was in 2007. And if the workers of Nigeria, they are serious, if they are determined, they can help Mr. Peter Obi to become the next president of Nigeria, because workers' welfare will be prioritized under his administration. His records in Anambra State speaks for itself. But if workers of Nigeria, university lecturers, Nigerian Union of Teachers, if all this group of unions say they are okay with going on strike all the time, with their welfare being treated as nothing, then well, they can go ahead and vote for PDP or vote for APC. But the truth of the matter remains that they have opportunity to back a person who has volunteered to lift their party using his enormous and unprecedented popularity to take Labour Party to the next level of accomplishment. So Mr. Peter Obi and Labour Party, luckily enough, they still have some time, because election is taking place next year. So if Mr. Peter Obi imagines their presidential candidate and they begin to work on it, it's a long time for Labour Party to shake the foundation of political alignment and political management and political power in Nigeria. It can be done. Offsets are not uncommon in politics. Already, PDP is tainted by Mr. Peter Obi leaving the party. PDP is tainted by Mr. Peter Obi leaving the party. His leaving the party has left the party in shock. That is why, instead of talking about their party and the future of their party, they are busy talking about Mr. Peter Obi, when they're supposed to be concentrating on how they are going to manage their party and make it work. Yes, so Wike is busy talking about Peter Obi, when Reno Omokri is supposed to be marketing his Atiku Abubakar and PDP. He is busy talking about Mr. Peter Obi. So there is something going on that Mr. Peter Obi has, which he took away as he left PDP, and PDP is in disarray. Whoever they are bringing is already tainted. Because if you look at those remaining there now, how many of them are men with integrity, men without corruption, men that you can allow them to manage Nigerian treasury? They're already tainted. PDP is finished. They are no longer a competitor since Peter Obi walked out, and they are aware of it. That's why people like Wike and are terrified and running from one television station to the other to talk about Mr. Peter Obi instead of talking about themselves and what they have to offer. And then the next thing that the Labour Party should do, which I think they should, is galvanize Nigerian workers, because they have been bearing the brunt of the ineptitude and mismanagement of the economy of Nigeria by the PDP and the APC. Look at the minimum wage of Nigeria. It is not even enough now to buy a bag of rice with the minimum wage. It will be foolish and stupid of any Nigerian worker not to vote for Labour Party, a party that will look into his problem and say that he's going to. Why would you go and vote for PDP or APC after what you have seen them do to this country in the past many years that they have been in charge. It should be foolishness of the highest order for anybody who is a worker, whether in the local government, whether in the state civil service, whether in the federal civil service, to put your faith in APC or PDP, hoping that you are going to have a better future under these charlatans that have turned this country into the poverty capital of the world. Any worker who will put his faith and trust on PDP and APC, then that worker doesn't know the importance of why he is the head of his family, because the salary that they are being paid now, workers are being paid, can never take many workers home. And workers, for every worker in Nigeria, he is managing several family members, extended family members, with 30,000 naira minimum wage. So now the workers have opportunity to elect a president who is ready to be held accountable. A president who is ready to be held accountable. I think the Labour Party stands a good chance of winning the 2023 presidential election if workers are to back Mr. Peter Obi, knowing that he is a worker-friendly governor. He was a worker-friendly governor, and he will replicate the same thing as president of Nigeria. And already he has said it, that he wants to increase the productivity of Nigeria. And who are the people that are going to make this country productive? It's the workers. So he is going to pay special attention to workers, because workers are the only people that can make this country productive. They are the only people that can be able to drive the dreams and aspirations of Mr. Peter Obi for Nigeria. So that, I think this is my response to Reno Omokri and his lies about Mr. Peter Obi's ideology being in conflict with that of Nigeria, the Labour Party of Nigeria. Now, before I go, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do hit the subscription buttons so that anytime we release any video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you.